If you want that uniform and sleek appearance for the front end of your 2014 to 2015 Silverado 1500, these LED DRL headlights with the clear corners, a black housing, and a clear lens will be a great set to do it with. Now this set will be right up your alley if you're in search of a simple yet good looking set of headlights to up the styling while maintaining that OE style appearance if you don't want anything too over the top when it comes to looks. Not to mention, if your factory headlight housings are a bit worse for wear or you've taken some damage, this set will be a pretty affordable route to take for a better look and better lighting performance if you need better visibility at night. Now this will feature a setup that's a lot stealthier than factory with the gloss black housing on the front, as it says in the name, offering that sleek appearance rather than that typical bright chrome that the headlights usually have to offer. So if you're a fan of that darker appearance, this is going to be up your alley. Now this will feature a projector lens for the driving beam up at the top, accompanied with an H1 bulb and a reflector for the high beam below it for the included 9005 bulb. Now you'll also see that these will have clear corner lights, allowing you for that uniform appearance that you wouldn't think would change much of the aesthetic, but it makes all the difference when it comes to the styling. Not to mention, with this set you get a bright strip of bright white LEDs in the middle for your daytime running light, adding a lot more modern style into the mix while making yourself more noticeable on the street for safety. Now these will be tough with a black plastic housing for a durable construction, an OEM style fit, so when you go to mount these up to your Silverado, these are going to fit just like the factory ones. Now on the front, the lens will be solid and resistant to any kick up on the street or lighter branch or brush hits if you are taking your Silverado on the trail, and these will also be sealed with a quality seal to prevent any moisture or dust getting inside, potentially fogging up the lens or harming the bulbs. Now these will also be DOT and SAE approved, and these will have a straightforward install thanks to the mostly plug and play setup. You will have to do a little bit of wiring for that daytime running light, but it's nothing intimidating, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Now these will be relatively affordable compared to others like it at roughly $450. Now putting these side by side with others in the category, these really shine through in the simplicity, the sleek and uniform styling, and the fact that you're getting everything in the kit and then some with the running light compared to other more bare bones options. Now I think if you don't necessarily need every single bell and whistle that some of those premium options have to offer, but you still want that modern touch and feel with a great set of headlights, then this is really going to be right up your alley and a good option to take a look at. Now install will be 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about an hour to get the job done. Again, you are going to have to do some minor wiring. You just have to splice into it the daytime running light wire as well as a ground, and then you'll be all good to go. However, that is going to wrap it up for me. Let's check out a detailed breakdown of how to get these onto your Silverado right now.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a clip remover tool, wire strippers and crimpers, a test light, Phillips head screwdriver, 10mm ratcheting wrench, an extension, 10mm socket, some T-taps and male spades, and a microfiber towel. What's up guys? Today we're installing a set of headlights on our Silverado. First we're going to watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory headlights, and then I'll meet you right back here for the install.
All right, first step here, we have to uninstall our factory headlights. To do that, pop your hood. We're going to remove the radiator shroud. Now there's a bunch of these plastic black push pin clips here. What you're gonna do is take a panel removal tool. I'm gonna start with this guy here. You're just gonna pry up on the middle section. Once that's up, you don't necessarily need to take it off in 2 pieces, but once that's up, you can pull it off all together just like that. Do that for each one along the entire shroud. Now that all those clips are off, let's just lift up on the shroud and set it aside. Next up, we have to head over to the wheel well to remove this one Phillips head screw. Now the reason we're doing that is because this entire trim piece that goes along all underneath the headlights and grille has to come off. So grab a Phillips head, we're just gonna take this one screw off in each wheel well. So once you have one taken care of, repeat on the other side. And once that's off, you can start cracking that guy loose. All right, next up here, just pull that trim piece all the way off and set it aside. All right, next up, let's get our grill out of the way. Now there's 4 10mm bolts at the top, so I'm switching over to an impact gun and a deep socket, so let's get those off. All right, now on the bottom left and bottom right corners, you're gonna find another 10 millimeter. For the grill, I'm switching over to an extension on my 10 mil. All right, same thing on the other side. All right, so now we can just pull the grill off in one piece. All right, next step, let's unbolt our headlight. Now I'm working on our passenger side here. There's two 10 millimeter bolts up top we're gonna start with. All right, next up, behind where our grill was here, there's one more bolt at the bottom down there. All right, we have one more down here in the corner, right behind where the trim was underneath the headlight. I'm gonna use a 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench for this guy just because it's at a tough angle. All right, so now we can just pull that straight back. And you just pinch and disconnect the harness. Just like that, set your factory light aside.
Now before we install our new headlights, we're gonna have to get our wiring situated. We have 2 power wires and 2 ground wires that we're gonna tie in together. We're gonna install some male spades on the end of those and T-taps onto our body harness to connect up our daytime running lights. So now we're gonna strip back some wire on both of our power wires and same thing for our ground. We'll tie these together and then we'll crimp our male spade connector onto the end. On our truck side, we're gonna be using these T-taps. There's that metal fork that's gonna wrap around the wire. You'll close that up and take a pair of pliers to crimp that down to make the connection. And then our male spade connector is just gonna slide into the end there. So we'll grab our wire strippers, strip back some lead. And then we'll twist that up, twist those together, and slide our spade connector on top. And then we'll take some wire crimpers and crimp that down. And now we'll just do that same thing for our 2 negative wires. And now we can do that same thing for our other headlight and get these on the truck. So now we're ready to install our T-taps. I've got a test light here. I've got one end connected to a ground. Inside the cabin, I turned the switch on for our daytime running lights. So now we can grab our connector. We're gonna probe in each of these until it lights up, and that'll tell us which is our power wire for the daytime running lights. Now this connector right here has it lighting up. So that's gonna correspond to our gray wire. We already have a T-tap installed onto our wire from a previous install. However, since this will be your first time doing it, you'll just follow the steps that I laid out on the table. So now to find our negative wire, I've got the other end of our test light hooked up to the positive battery terminal. And then we see we have our light come on there, which is for this thick black wire that we also have our T-tap on. So now we can make our connections for our headlight. Our red wires are gonna go to our gray. And our black wires are gonna go to the black. And then we'll plug in our connector, tuck our wires, and slide our headlight into place. And now we can come to the top of our headlight and reinstall our 2 bolts. And then we'll grab our 10 millimeter socket and tighten these down. Next, we can come to the inside corner of our headlight and reinstall that bolt. Next, we can come to the outside corner of our headlight and reinstall that one. And then we'll take our 10mm ratcheting wrench and tighten that down. And now we can repeat that same process on the other side. Next, we can slide our grill back into place. Next, we can reinstall our 4 upper grill bolts. And then we'll grab our 10mm socket to tighten that down. Next, we can reinstall our lower grill bolts. Now, these are going to be pretty much impossible to see on camera, but everywhere that we have this rectangular cutout in the bottom of our grill, there's a U-clip deep in there. So I've got a 10mm socket on an extension to get my bolts started, and then I'll throw a ratchet on the other side to tighten them down. Now I'll throw that ratchet on the other end and tighten these down. Next, we can line up all of our tabs and reinstall our lower trim. Next, we can come back to our wheel well and take a Phillips head screwdriver to reinstall our screw. And then you can do that same thing on the other side. Next, we can reinstall our radiator cover. We have these 2 tabs that are going into these 2 slots, and then we'll just lay it down. And now lastly, we'll just reinstall all of our push clips. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the LED DRL headlights with clear corners, black housing, and clear lens for your 2014 to 15 Silverado 1500. Thank you for watching, and for all things Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.